I need a little bit of a platform there. I'm going to start pulling up these questions. So I want you to win a free pair of these collie sticks. Voice is all scratchy. I've been teaching camp kids for 3 weeks. I've been yelling too much, yelling out of love and kindness. Anyway, got a pair of collie sticks. These here, they're in the plastic still. These retail for 20 bucks a piece. When I send it to you, I'm going to cover shipping and everything. Please put your comments or your questions in the chat. Let me know what questions you have. I'm going to pull up some of the questions from earlier from the community. Take off my watch. Wrist is a little tight. I might cough, so I'm going to try to move over and not cough in your face. Appreciate your patience with me. I wanted to do this live stream. I haven't done a bunch on Facebook. Anybody follow me over on Facebook? If you do, it says 89 Tigers, Matt Pasquinilli. Facebook is like 30,000, maybe almost 30,000. It goes up and down. Followers over there on the Facebook. Anybody also follow me on Facebook? One of my pages. I love Facebook, by the way. I think everywhere else in the world, Facebook is the internet. It's just the United States. We all have iPhones. And so a lot of people Apple chat each other, or whatever it's called, iMessage. Let me see if I can find those questions. It's nice and sunny today here. I don't know how it is where you are. Anybody want a free pair? My shipping, I'll ship them to you. Put your questions in the chat. You know, I was thinking too, there's a bunch of questions already, about 30 questions from the earlier request when I asked you on the community page to put some questions in there for this broadcast today. So I'm going to pick someone from there. I'll let you know who that is at the end. I don't know who it is yet. But then I'm going to give a second pair away free. And if you're younger or you have smaller hands, I also have a pair of child collie sticks. They're made out of the same rattan. They're very durable, but they're a smaller diameter and they're not as long. That are perfect for kids. So if you're a little bit younger and you want the smaller pair, let me know, and I'll put those in the mail to you if you win. If you do win, you have to send me an email with your name and your mailing address. And if you're in a country where they don't allow you to have collie sticks, I know that exists. There are a few countries like that, or a state, then I'll figure that out and I won't send them to you. Maybe I'll just send you 20 bucks or something. 40 bucks or $20 per stick. I'll send you 40 bucks, but I'll make sure I take care of you. All right, here we go. First question. I'll put my phone up here so I can read it. How hard is it to promote your school and attract new students? I've been running martial arts schools for nearly 30 years, and this is something that I've become very good at, especially here at the Asian Arts Center, which is in Dayton, Ohio. We're a 501c3 not-for-profit. That means we have tiny, thin margins. So everything we do is word of mouth. That doesn't mean that we don't do any marketing or advertising, that we don't pay for it. But you have to understand what word of mouth is. Word of mouth means people can find you. And if they know who you are, you know, it's the whole, they have to know you, like you, and trust you. They're not going to know you, then they can't get the next two, like you and trust you. They're never going to come in and give you any money and help you grow your school. Now, people teach martial arts for money, and other people who are purists, or maybe they're theorists is maybe a better word, and they say, well, you're not supposed to teach martial arts for money. That isn't the soul or the tradition of martial arts. You know, back in the day, they used to give the guy a chicken, or they give him the eggs, or bring in a goat, and they trade him the goat for some martial arts classes. Well, a goat is money. The chicken is money. You have to eat. And the better you are at attracting new students and growing your school financially, the better you are able to grow your school and spread your message and teach more people. Now, I feel like there's an ideal number for me I don't like a big school. I've had a massive school, and I've intentionally shrunk it in the last few years so that I can teach at the highest level that I can teach, give the most value to my students, whether that's with Kali sticks, which I bring in other people who are better Kali instructors than I am, and I jump in the class and I get to do it with them, or whether I'm teaching the traditional striking martial arts of karate or taekwondo. I love boxing. We teach a lot of boxing here, and then we have some jiu-jitsu. But again, I'm not a jiu-jitsu instructor, so I bring in somebody else who knows more than I do. But in order to do that, you have to have people who know you. So the question is, how hard is it to promote your school? Remember, it's all word of mouth, but how does word of mouth happen now? Statistics in America show adults my age, old people, use this thing. They're on this 12 and a half hours a day. I watch people around me like this all day and all night. And young people, it's even more. Young people, though, might be on a different platform. They might not be on Facebook. They might be on Instagram, or they're on the Snapchat, but they're somewhere and they're on their phone. And so if you understand that word of mouth now is how do you, or not how, but how you communicate with each other, how you talk to somebody about the thing that they do. The way it used to happen is when I teach my classes, I always say things that I want my the parents of the students, if it's a kid, to say to someone else. Instead of saying, you know, my kid went there and he got a trophy, look at the trophy. No one cares about that. But when he says, my kid was in the class and Mr. Matt said, now look at your mom. Go look at your mom the same way you look at me, and I'm going to feel respected. Go to school tomorrow and look. Parents will talk about that. That's word of mouth. But now the way they talk about it, used to be they would talk about that at the soccer field while the older sibling or a different brother or sister was on the field. They're sitting in the stands with their friends, the other kids in Taekwondo with me. And they're saying, oh, you know, Mr. Matt, he's so brilliant. You know, my kid, he's never said, thank you, mom. Yes, mom. Yes, dad. He cleans his room. He does this. He does that. It's all because of the Asian arts and the Taekwondo class, the Master Matt or whatever. That happens now here on the phone. So in other words, people are like this all the time. They're not talking to each other as much, but they're constantly sharing stuff, selfies. So you have to make a lot of opportunities to promote your school, take lots of pictures of your students. If you have permission, of course, make sure they sign a waiver, and ask the parents, talk to them. Don't just assume that they're going to do it. Say, hey, can I post a picture of your kid breaking his board, or doing his form, or standing at attention, or in a meditation? We do a lot of meditation here. And I want to tag you in it with a little post. And in the post, you say something like, kid's super focused. I'm so proud of your son. He's amazing. He's more focused here. And the mom is all happy and proud, and she's sharing it with her friends. Dad's sharing it with his friends or whatever, family members. But it's all happening here. It's all happening in social media. So yes, you can promote your school. You must promote your school. You either have to grow or die in anything. Business is the same way. Martial arts business. If you don't have a martial arts business and you want to have a lot of students, you're going to die. There are lots of people in this industry who, and I've been around this industry for more than 30 years, who will say, well, you know, McDojo this or McDojo that, your school's too commercial. There's no such thing. Either you can keep the lights on, keep the mats clean, people coming in the door, pay your rent, pay for yourself. I'll tell you this, if you're coming into your school every day to teach your students, and you're all angry and PO'd that all of your students have nicer cars than you do, and I'm not saying you have to drive a Rolls, but they have nicer cars than you do. They're taking vacations and you're never taking a vacation. It's not their fault. It's your fault because you're not doing things professionally. Learn how to run the business part of it. Separate your emotion. It all comes down to every business is the same. Professional operation, make a nice, good school. It doesn't have to be super, you know, I'm not making lots and lots of money, but make a decent living so that you can continue to promote things to all the people who matter to you in your community. Kids and adults, for me, especially I work with a lot of kids on the autism spectrum, like a third of our members. So that's really important to me. I have a very strong solution there. Helps a lot of kids change the whole trajectory of their life. I only get to do that because the other people, I give them so much value that they have to give me a little bit of money. But again, it all comes back to this. The only way to promote your school, word of mouth is now in social media. Learn how to take a good picture and post. Don't let anybody tell you you're posting too much either. If you're posting a ton and your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend says, you're posting too much, I'm seeing your pictures all the time, nobody's going to want that. They're not your audience. You're not posting it for somebody in your family or in your personal circle. You're posting it to other people in the community who need to see your message. who are going to learn and value your message. So don't worry about what the people closest to you say. Remember this saying, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. That goes for business too. All right, I digressed a lot. So let's go to the next one. That was from Travis. Thanks, Travis. This is Risto. Do you think with the introduction of the internet and wider availability of information, learning a martial art has become more digitized? That has taken away from the bond created when learning the art with a master's live guidance? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. It's exciting to me seeing tens of thousands of virtual students between my Facebook page and the YouTube page. There are so many people, and they reach out to me. They send me messages. Hey, they have cool stories. They're from all over the world, and sometimes they're from Afghanistan. They're in a burned out building. The kid's spinning a stick that they found. Maybe it was like a pipe or something, blown off the building. And his dad sent me the video, and he said, thank you so much for posting your video on how to spin the bow staff. My son, we don't have much going on here, but we're spinning the thing, and my kid's building his confidence. He feels strong. He feels, because that's all I want. I want you to feel strong and confident. And that feels really good. Collie sticks, right? I don't know if we're going to have the same bond through this, but my feeling is a lot of people have never seen this before, because I know this is what we call an aesthetic martial art. It's very practical. It's good for law enforcement, especially sticks and knives, law enforcement and military, military, because it's good stuff to learn how to protect and guard, but not get hit with a stick. Learn how to block the hand instead of not the stick. Working with live blades is very important if that's your field. I don't think it's that great for little kids, but you can teach it to kids. I use the foam ones and I use smaller ones. But the point is having that personal one-on-one connection. And here's the other thing I'm going to say. I've been around a lot of masters. I've been around a lot of good men and women who are highly ranked and are masters. And I've been around a lot of goofballs and weirdos and charlatans, a lot of fakes and phonies who their guts out to here and their Soki Tintan gold belt ninja disappear in a puff of smoke. True story. But that doesn't necessarily make them a really good role model, but we assume they are because they are a master. Well, maybe their students don't know, but they promoted themselves. They made it up. They got together with a bunch of other guys who call themselves the Soki Ship Council. Soki just means founder, and they're all 10th degree black belts, or 10th degree gold belt, or 10th degree camouflage belt. I'm not knocking on all of that, because people do come up with innovation and they do make new stuff, but I'm not a big fan of the whole ranking system anyway. That comes back to, it's a holdover from a militaristic society where a lot of the martial arts came out in the 60s and 70s to the States, and they came from Korea that had to be held together by a strong military. And so you had these ranks and these systems, and same thing in Japan. But that's not necessarily the only way that you can do it. It's like Mr. Miyagi said, he got his black belt from Sears. That's just as good, in my opinion. You have to go back to, is it a decent human being? Is it a good person? Is she a good person? And get past this whole cult of personality that exists in so many schools. You have this goofy little school and this goofy martial artist, but everybody thinks he's awesome because he's got trophies everywhere that have dust all over him. You have trophies, dust. I don't have any trophies in my building. They're dust magnets. Trophies, medals, all this stuff, half of them are broken. And they're in the window and they're lining outside. And I'm not making fun, because that's what people are used to. So they open a school and they do the same thing. But I'm saying that the relationship that can exist this way with this community and with you guys, not just me, but everybody else, I think then you start to get like some really cool one-on-one relationships. I had a woman send me some video from Michigan last year. She asked me the year before through YouTube, do you think I'm blind? Do you think I could do it? And I'm like, of course you could do it. Find a good instructor. I've had blind students. I got them all the way to black belt. Of course you can do it. Like 6 months later, she sends me video in my Hotmail and 3 or 4 videos. And she's breaking boards and she's doing her form. And I'm not going to have that one-on-one relationship as if I were working with her personally, but I feel just as it's just as heartwarming for me that she got to get into martial arts and get so much value out of it, because she saw my videos. And there's all kinds of adaptive technology. She sees the video. That's a relative term or whatever. But I think, yes, you can have that kind of bond and that kind of relationship, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't think we're going to have a choice. I think in 6 to 10 years, you're not leaving your house very much unless you're in certain parts of the world. But in the Western world or the first world or whatever, developed nations, your kid's going to come, or you're going to go say, hey, I want to take karate. And you're going to say, who do you want to learn from? You want to learn from Michael J. White? You want to learn from Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, whatever. And there's going to be an actor somewhere, and they got the white dots all over, and they got the film camera out, and they took their face off, and then they put Michael J. White's face, and then he's in the room with you. Or maybe it's Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee's standing right next to you because they have the haptics. That's the thing that makes your phone buzz or like a puff of air or the sounds. And then you've got the projection maybe, or maybe it's VR, maybe it's headset. But somehow you're going to have martial arts right here. He's going to feel like he's right here, or she. And Bruce Lee's going to say, be like water, my friend. And then he's going to touch your hand. He's going to say, you're not turning your wrist enough. Like that. And I think that's going to come through here. Artificial intelligence and AR, augmented reality, virtual reality. I think that ship has sailed. It's going to happen. Anyway, so keep putting the questions in here, and I'll make more nunchuck videos. So Damodar, Nayak, more nunchuck, power of the hand and the wrist. One of my favorite topics. It's something I've done my whole life. Let's see, Gerald, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate that. Put these in here because I'm going to pick 2 winners. One from this original set of questions and one from these questions right here. Freelance video and editor. You need what? I don't know. I can't see anymore. I think it popped up. I have to look at it later. Wiggle Lord, still messing with my staff. That's right, man. Just keep picking it up. I'm in the middle of camp. We're on lunch break. The guys are in there playing some capture the flag. This is the older kids, black belt candidates, and these kids are amazing. Some of them have been with me for 13, 14 years. They've been here since they're 4, 5, 6 years old. And I don't give a black belt away. If you get a black belt from me, you earn it. And it doesn't take 3, 4 years. When you're that little, it's going to take 5, 6, 7, 8 years. If you're older and you're more focused, you can get a little bit faster, but it's going to be hard work. No one's too old. Maria says, am I too old to learn it? You're never too old. I have a student. He comes in here. He'll be here tomorrow. He comes 3 days a week, private lessons. He's financially independent, but he wasn't always that way. He had his back to the door and the wolves at the door, and he was living off of credit cards, and he had to fight his way up. I'm talking about you, Bo. And the guy is deaf until he's 36, can't hear anything. Then he got the hearing aids. Finally, they made it technology. 70 years old. He started when he was 68. They cracked his chest open because he eats like garbage and doesn't eat enough fruits and vegetables. Had a massive heart attack and could barely walk. Couldn't walk more than like 5 minutes without getting winded. Had to sit down. His hips hurt. His knees hurt. That was less than 3 years ago. Guy's amazing. He's amazing. I have him doing handstands like in the first month. And now what he can do, now we're working on the quick band, which is that thing that makes you kick faster. And he's kicking faster, he's punching faster. We're getting ready to climb Kilimanjaro together. And it's not, I don't feel sorry for anybody. I feel sorry for no one. None. Never. I don't care what your challenge is in life. We all have challenges. I don't feel sorry for you. Anyway, no one's too old. No one's too broken. No one's too stuck in a wheelchair. No one's too anything. I've had kids with cerebral palsy, adults with cerebral palsy. I've had adults with every shade, they say the autism spectrum or whatever, every shade from extreme and severe to highly functioning. I don't know. That's the key. I don't make a judgment. I don't know where you're coming from. And as long as I say, I don't know what you can do, you don't know what you can do. God knows. That's what I believe in. I don't know. You don't know. Let's just do something. Let's figure out what you can do. So you're never too old. Let's see. Still looking here at freelance. You're asking for something for free. I don't mind sending you stuff for free. But if you get it, I hope it gives you lots of, if it's like a stick or a collie stick, next time I do this, I'm giving away a couple of bows. Because I don't know why, but you can't find a good bow staff online anymore. So I'm going to get some bows wholesale and mail them out to 2 people. Bow staff, the long one. I know bow means staff and staff. Don't get stuck on that kind of stuff. But if you get one of these, I hope they give you blisters because you work so hard. Anyway, back to these questions. Remember, put your questions down here in the chat, and I will pick a winner from the chat, and I'll pick a winner from here. So 2 winners today. Free collie sticks. I'll even pay for shipping. Oh, hi. Why are you so handsome? Freelance video. That's you again, right? I just had my lunch. Hummus. I had celery today. I usually have carrots or cucumbers. 5 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables a day. 5 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables a day. Eat some lean meats. I don't always eat healthy. It's not about what you keep out of your diet. It's not about never eating any sugar, but put in 5 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables a day. Fresh, meaning that they grew somewhere. If you're able to, if you're blessed, grow your own food in your own garden. But whatever it is, get that food in, and then that balances out all the other junk you might eat. Exercise. I exercise 7 days a week. If I'm at home and I don't have a chance to exercise at the gym or whatever, when I call it gym, it's really my office. And it's all kettlebells. I'm not doing bench presses and stuff anymore. I just don't have time for it. It's not appealing to me. Never really was. But I did get my bench press up to 425 when I was in the Marine Corps, because that's all we did. We'd go to the gym every day. That was a long time ago. I could probably still do it just because I'm mentally tough. But I don't know. It might break me too. Anyway, so handsome because that's the way I'm made. You need to start telling yourself that instead of telling everybody around you, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so ugly. Get in a relationship and tell your partner that you're ugly. I just look so fat today. Don't tell them that. They don't want to hear that. They're in the relationship with you because they love you, or they're interested in you, or they really like you. They don't want to hear you saying how, see, it's your language, right? It's how you talk to yourself. I watch myself all day long. I'm surrounded by mirrors, cameras, my voice, and everybody, I don't like my voice. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I don't really care. It's not for me. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for anybody else who's going to watch, because I want to share my martial arts. So I don't care what I look like. I don't care what I sound like. I just care about what you say so I can adjust it and get you the information you really need. 10-year break, body's not supporting, 45 years of age. Start slowly. I'm older than you. You're 45. I'm older than you. I get it. It's tough, but don't give up. Almost everybody gives up too soon. 45, you might live, with today's technology, you might live to be 145. And that's not in the stretch of the imagination. Unless we have some world wars and famine or whatever. But you might live to be 100. That's a lot. You have more than double your life left. Don't wait. Go for a walk immediately. Go for a walk. Turn this off. Get out of here. If I already got your comment, I might send you something. But go for a walk. Drink more water. Start slowly. Do 5 push-ups a day. Almost everybody goes too far. This is my theory of underachieving. You have to be an underachiever. You've heard this saying before, I'm sure. Anything worth doing is worth doing, fill in the blank. Anybody know? Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. That means you have to be really bad at it first. Let's talk about collie. So I start doing my collie, right? This first move. For me, this is really simple and easy. And I've done this for a long time. This is called the Sinawali. Sinawali means to weave. This is a Sinawali pattern. This is Sinawali heaven. Everything is up here. If I start to bring one of the sticks down, this is down there. Standard or earth. If I do that same pattern and I keep it all low, that's the earth pattern. Everything here is heaven, down there is earth, based on 3. But I've done it for a long time, so this is easy for me. When you first start to learn it, when I first started to learn it, I couldn't figure this out. True story, I couldn't figure it out. It took me forever. And some things do take me forever. It takes me a long time because I'm a kinesthetic learner. I've got to experience it. By the way, is there really such a thing as ADHD? Or are you a kinesthetic learner? Schools teach kids how to learn by seeing. That's called a visual learner. And the other kind is hearing like a story. That's an auditory learner. And if you're a visual or an auditory learner, you'll do great in schools, in almost all schools. Schools are set up to teach middle management and laborers how to work in a factory. But the owners, the guys like the Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and the Bruce Lees of the world, dropped out of school because they got to move. The body's got to move. They're a kinesthetic learner. They have to experience it. I say it like this, like you draw on the board, right? 1 + 1 = 2. That's the visual learner. Then the teacher says, Jimmy had an apple. Johnny had an apple. They put them together. Now there are two apples. That's the story. That's the auditory learner. The third kind, the experienced guy, that's me. You have to stick an apple in this hand and stick an apple in this hand, put my hands together and say, look, Matt, you got two apples. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. Anyway, back to the collie. Collie is a lot like that. Collie has all of these intricate moves, but you start with just this one slicing motion, right? And this goes back to your question about being 45 and I'm too old, my body won't. Start with that one. Do this and this over and over. Angle one, angle two, slicing, slicing, slicing. After you do that for like a week, add angle three, bringing it up and bringing it up. See how I just turn my hand and pull it up? That might be easy for some people to see that I just turn my hand and pull it up. Other people aren't going to get it like that. It doesn't come that fast. So get them really good at this. Build some confidence. I want you to feel confident, and I want you to feel strong. And if that means just with first two moves, then that's enough. Start with the first two moves. If it's with a collie stick, with a knife, they're all the same. It's a slashing motion, right? I want you to get really good at that, because if you don't know how to slash and you're not doing this right, I don't want to teach you all the other moves because it's not going to be right. All right. Oh, man. Freelance video. I thought so. I thought you were a creeper. Now I got to remove you. I got to report you. You're out of there. See, I thought that freelance person could go either way. They kind of slide in, they hide in there, but I don't want any weirdos on there. And when you see weirdos like that, crush them. Get them out of there. That means report them, kick them off your chat. If someone is like messing with you online, instead of getting all upset, do something about it. Speak up to them. Hey, you don't have to like me, but you can't talk to me like that. You don't have to like me, but you can't populate my chat with garbage. Pull them off of this one too. All right, what are the pros and cons of different tiers, collie sticks and bow? This is rattan. I believe it's a grass. Rattan bamboo, they're very similar. This is extremely durable. These are really nice. This is also rattan. See these here? They burn that in. This is called peeled. This is not peeled or skinned. They say skinned and unskinned. They got skin on them. So this is the original outer skin. You see that? That's what it looks like. It kind of looks like a bunch of grasses. So this is one where they've pulled the skin off. Probably it was a bigger or a less nice piece. This is like perfect piece. They just cut it and they sell it. And this is varnished. A lot of them will come varnished, but after a while, they're all going to start to fall apart if you hit them together, which is what you want to do if you can get a partner. These are but they're both the same. They both work just as well. My experience is the ones like this one with the skin on them. Here's a warm-up drill for you. Spin it like that. But these are more durable, and they're usually a little heavier. Now, one of the questions is, as far as like bow staff goes, you can get them out of this. I like them out of this because they're so durable. They're kind of lightweight, and they move more like a waxwood staff, like a Chinese bow staff that kind of wiggles when you snap it, but it doesn't break. I also like oak. I like white oak the best. My experience is like the red oak comes from China, I think. So a lot of the bow staffs are made out of red oak. I think you saw my black one. That's a red oak bow painted black. If you want to know how to get a black bow staff, get a can of black paint and paint it. That's what I did. Same thing, collie sticks. Make them any color you want. No one else has to say what the right color is, unless if you're in a school and they say don't bring that in here, don't bring it in there. Anyway, white oak is better in my experience. Poplar, all the hardwoods, as long as it's not going to break. You don't want it to break when you're making contact. If you are, and then have that tip fly and smack you in the face. That's happened to me with a inferior quality. It's almost always the red oak ones. They break the most. They're the cheapest. They're the easiest to get because they come from China and they're made a lot. A lot of them now are starting to come from like Pakistan and other parts where they have access to the wood. But if you can get one made like in the West, there's a lot of specialty European makers, and they make them out of white oak or poplar or harder staffs or woods. They're really more expensive, but they last forever. I've had the same staffs two staffs, the Jo, the shorter one, and the Bo from this company called Bujin that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if they exist. I think they still exist, but the guy who, Hiroshi Ikeda, who was he's an Aikido master in Colorado Springs, I think he sold the license to some guy in Europe, and the quality is not as good anymore. Sorry to say that, but the staffs that I bought years and years ago, amazing, amazing quality. You can also get graphite. Graphite's super light. Some people make them in aluminum, metal. It doesn't really matter as long as you get started spinning, practicing with the bow. Preference. My preference is a hardwood or rattan. Now you can get bamboo. Bamboo is going to be usually heavier, and bamboo is more brittle. It's usually hollow, and it's going to break. Rattan lasts forever, I think. So I would go rattan. Kali sticks, almost all of them are going to be rattan. If you see, you can see there are some Kali sticks that are made like the old style ones they used to sell in the old catalogs, like Century and Asian World. There were those big, thick, almost like a billy club a police officer used to carry, and I don't like those at all. They're not very practical. It's not a really good weapon. These are quick and light, and you can do a lot of stuff if you get them made out of this. All right. Can I send you a bow staff? Yes. Pay attention to this channel. When I say I'm going to give away a bow staff, jump on there and try to win it. Yes, if you win, I will send you a bow staff. Very cool. Thanks, John. I really appreciate that. By the way, I appreciate all you guys participating, except for that jerk, the freelance guy that we just booted. Get rid of the guys like that. You know, like, are you just a weirdo or are you just a jerk? Maybe you're both. Anyway, Alan, he's been interested in Kali Eskrima for a while. Only recently picked up rattan sticks. No, I'm not a trainer exactly. I practiced for a long time, but I'm not a trainer. How to find the perfect size. They usually come, if you look at them in the catalog, I think they're like 20 inches to maybe 28 inches. I was taught like their tip of the finger to about the shoulder, right? That's like a good size. Now, here's what you have to know. And yes, you can cut them down. I wouldn't cut them really short. I think it's nice to have reach and extension. You're always going to choke up a little bit on the end right there. That's to strip the other person's weapon. That's to lock. There's a lot of good joint locks that you can do. Kali sticks. My original martial arts was judo. I started judo at 9. Been doing martial arts for a long time. But I love joint locks, pressure points, throws. You can do a lot of those with the Filipino martial arts, FMA they call them. Let's see. You can cut it down. I wouldn't cut it down. I'd just get used to the longer staff. Unless it's like you know, as long as a short staff, then cut it in half and you have 2. Kali sticks, yes. This is blade-tastic knives. Sounds really cool. Post an instructional video, basic 1-step and 2-stick manipulation. I will ask Guru Jeremiah. Guru Jeremiah teaches upstairs. He uses part of our space. This is a big building, 12,000 square feet, 5 classrooms. He teaches in classroom 3. He's really good. He's one of the best, and he's a student of Dan Inosanto. He's one of the top guys I've ever seen. He's one of these guys who understands everything, knows all the intricate details, and he will explain it to you. And I'll have him make that video for you. Max, you're the best. Thanks, Max. I miss you. You should be in this camp right now working on your black belt. Anyway, Robert Ding, thank you for the lesson. Grateful for that. Start learning, teach the video. Easy to understand. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Kali sticks, something a big man can benefit. Yes. Yes. Here's what's super cool. When you go to the classroom upstairs, it's all adults. We don't have any kids doing the Kali upstairs. It's sticks and knives. It's something I think you should reserve for adults. For me, teaching little kids how to walk around. Tip of that, I'll take your eye out. You're messing around. You need to have some kind of focus and discipline. A big guy with Kali sticks, maybe you don't move as well as you get older. Maybe you do. Maybe you're like an NFL quarterback or running back or whatever. I guess you'd be on the defensive line, right? You'd be smashing people to the earth. But yeah, absolutely. These things are great. Reach and extension. The other thing these are really good for, this is probably one of the best parts of martial arts, is the cross-body development, the neural pathways in the brain, cognitive ability. You get smarter. Exercise makes you smarter when it's done with vigorously. I can make sure it's vigorous. Done vigorously in a focused way. You have to really pay attention or you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. Vigorous, focused, and complex. All this complexity of movement. all this kind of stuff that you do with the kali sticks, and then you do with the knives, and then you do with the hubad, lubad, and the open hand, the jeet kune do stuff that a lot of FMA guys throw in there. Brain development makes everything else work better. Your body works better, right side, left side. You're more balanced. You're healthier overall. So yes, 350, doesn't matter how old you are, how big you are, how young you are, they're good for you. How much time it takes in learning martial arts? By giving it 1 hour a day. It all depends on your intensity. I'm saying this morning. We're in Ohio. The new Star Wars thing that kids want to go to is in Disneyland in California. We got a couple kids going there next week. If they drive there, it's going to take them 2 or 3 days, probably 3 days. If they get in a jet plane, they can be there in 5 hours with a direct flight. 5 hours or 3 days. It's your focus. It's your intensity. It's your enthusiasm. It's your motivation. If you have 1 hour to practice or 10 minutes to practice, you can do the same in 10 minutes that you can do in an hour. I completely believe that. I've been doing that for years and years and years. Sometimes I have 8 minutes in the morning. Sometimes I have 2. If I have 2, that's my exercise for the day. I'm doing deep squats, like dropping down into a push-up. Squat, push-up, squat, push-up. Get the heart rate really high, get a lot of stress on the body. If I have 10 minutes to do kali sticks a day, and I do it in a focused way, and even if I'm doing that 1, 2, 1, 2, I'm just doing the first 2, but I'm doing it focused way, I'm paying attention. If I can have a mirror, watch myself, watch what I'm doing. If I don't have a mirror, use the camera phone. If I don't have that, just really think about it. Increase your intensity, increase the complexity of the exercise, or increase the number of repetitions. Those are the 3 things that you can do. You can do in 10 minutes what you can do in an hour. If in an hour, you're just kind of going at a nice, easy pace. It's all about being out of your comfort zone, getting tense, getting that comfort zone, bam, pushes it way up. All right, Weirdo's done, isn't he? Yeah, good. Kali sticks, let's see. Dylan saying, thanks to your bow staff videos, learned how to strike, twirl, still trying to learn how to block and defend. I'm going to do a video on that. Block and defend, I love that. It's mostly intuitive, but there's some intricacies with the hands that you can learn that'll make it a lot easier. So I'll do that for you. VJ Krishna, Master, like asked about your experience in martial arts. Someone, why I selected this career. I never thought I'd do this, honestly. This was always something that I did. It was a passion, and I would always fall back on it. But it's the only thing that helped me as a young man deal with my angst. I was an angry young man. I started to meditate, breathe, read Thich Nhat Hanh, sit in the meditation for 12 hours, fast for 3 days, and then I beat the bag, and I do my forms, and I practice sparring and all that. My martial arts instructor could always call me on my crap, and he'd say, you're full of S-H-I-T. I don't think he even never used that word. He'd say, you're full of crap, and you're lying to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You can't really lie to yourself. Get out there and kick the bag. And I come in, and I try to use my great intelligence to, deflect all the stuff that we do, growing up, our whole life, 45, I can't move anymore. All the lies we tell ourselves, you see right through it. That was because of his martial arts training. And he'd say, go kick the bag. And I'd come in, I'd have another excuse. He'd say, go kick the bag. And I'd come in and I'd say, you know what, Master Che, this, that, and the other thing. And this weekend this happened. And when I was a kid, that happened. And my mom said that. My dad did this. And he'd say, go kick the bag 1,000 times. He'd always say this, go kick the bag 1,000 times. And he wouldn't stand there when you kick the bag 1,000 times. He'd walk by and he'd say, you need to turn your hip more, or pivot more, or speed up, or slow down, or whatever it was. Breathe. Breathing was a big part of it. But that was it. That's why martial arts, that's why I came back. That's my experience. It's the only place I couldn't BS everybody around me, have them believe my excuses and lies. No one cared in the dojo, because you could either kick the bag or you couldn't kick the bag. But there's no way to understand kicking the bag. There's no way to read about kicking the bag. There's no way to theorize about kicking the bag. You might be able to tell everybody else how smart you are about kicking the bag, but until you kick the bag, you haven't kicked the bag. And only kicking the bag, or kicking the paddle, or kicking the other guys, what we call the hogu, chest gear, or kicking the other person, or getting in the competition, or getting in the fight over and over and over again, getting knocked out, waking back up, get your hands back up, get back in there. It doesn't lie. That's why. I think that's why. I could even lie in the Marine Corps a little bit, get away with it. Not in martial arts. How important are hyungs or pumse? Pumse means forms or patterns, Taekwondo. just like karate, they lack in teaching the proper. Yes, a lot of people don't teach them correctly. They're not. It's not obvious or intuitive what they're about. They're not for making you some wizened, experienced fighter or anything else. They teach balance, coordination. They teach shifting weight from one leg to the other leg, and they're really good for brain development. This is true. I grew up in a school in Taekwondo. Back when Taekwondo was still fighting, not like that front leg stuff they do now. It's more like fencing, which is what they wanted, they being the Korean masters. In the WTF, I don't think it's WT now or whatever, but I was there. I was in a lot of these conversations, and I heard a lot of the old Korean masters, how can we monetize it? How can we make it more exciting for people to watch on TV? Because they thought they were going to get into all the pay-per-view money. And then the UFC came along and made it look silly because you're not grappling on the ground. So it's like half a fight. And it's not boxing where you still have the sweet science because people don't practice as hard as they do in the boxing with the basic moves. But anyway, now what are the international Taekwondo competitions, even the stuff they do in Olympics, I can't even watch it. It's ridiculous to me. Me personally, it's my personal opinion. I just don't like it. But the Pumse, the forms, great value still, great value. I still teach them, and I still require that people do them really well, but I don't teach like 50 forms to get to a black belt. That's what it was when I was a kid, or a young man. I shouldn't say kid, when I was a teenager, but now everybody's younger and younger. But it's, I want balance. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, go to school 5 days a week, martial arts school 5 days a week. Saturday was all day fighting. Classes were 2.5 hours. So yes, and you need a lot of killings or pumse. You need a lot of forms over and over and over again. And if you did it, man, you look really, really good. But then the Gracies started coming around, whipping everybody and snapping them on the floor. And it became obvious to me, you needed to have some balance. You need to be able to do a lot of the different stuff. And not just me, but a lot of people. And now to make things worse, kids are like this all day. Parents are like, it's not the kid. I'm not blaming the kids. It's not the millennial thing. It's the parents. And they have less time to take the kids to stuff. They don't commit. I can't, if I did any of the things that my instructor did when I was a teenager and a young adult, or even younger, because I started as a tween in Taekwondo, and he would walk around. And he had this is this is one of the Korean instructors. He had a bamboo sword, bam, and he'd whack your arm. And if your arm wasn't tight, bam, he'd whack your arm. He'd jump up and down in your leg, kick you in the leg. And if you look to the right or the left, push-ups. We did that now, and I'm sure there's some idiots out there still doing it. Idiots maybe is too strong, but some people who don't understand the world has changed because you're in great danger of having Channel 2 News or whatever your local channel is right outside of your school broadcasting local martial arts instructor abuses children because the world has changed. And you'll probably lose in court. You'll lose everything, all because you still are relying on smacking people instead of learning how to do it with your words. That's how things have changed dramatically. I can teach you how to use your words and be more effective than hitting somebody with a stick. Most good martial artists can nowadays, and there's some great instructors out there. All right, I got to get through these quick because I got to get back to camp. Do I know Jesus Christ, personal Lord and Savior? I was going to skip that one. You know what? It's 2019. Whatever that means to you. Stephen Butler, arthritis in both knees, lower back, strengthening my core. How can I strengthen around the knee joints? Lunges slowly and not very long. Let me show you what I mean. You step very slowly forward and just bend a little bit. Let me show you from the side. I step, bend a little bit, and then bend a little bit. Right? Just doing a little. What most people will do that's a big mistake is they'll go like for this big, deep lunge, and they'll go to the floor, and they'll bust in even more. Slowly, small movements. What made sense before, in big movements when you were 22, you couldn't be hurt because you were a stud and you were athletic. You do really tiny, tiny movements. And then side step squats. It's about re-engaging the muscles. It's about getting the fluids, not just the blood, but all the fluids to flow again. It's about breaking up the stuff that's in there, but you have to do it with smaller movements. Take small movements first, and you'll get there. Just don't quit. Let's see. Russell says, trying to get past dry spell where it seems I'm not getting better. I got something for you. Take a tennis ball or a softball. Don't use a baseball. But take a ball, softball, right? And if you have someone to throw it with them because it'll go faster. If not, just throw it against the wall or the tree or whatever. Make a target. Throw it with your right hand. And then when you pick it up again, throw it with your left hand. Now, that sounds funny, right? But what's happening is you're firing everything up here, carving new neural pathways. And wherever you are stuck with whatever physical thing you're doing, and you're not as good at it, I guarantee you, after doing that, add that throwing every day for 2 weeks into your practice just for 5 minutes. You don't have to do more than that. Maybe 20 with the right, 20 with the left. But it has to be right, then left, right, then left. What's going to happen is it's going to bust it loose. It's like a secret thing. I can't tell you where I got that, but it works. It works really well. Oh, you know what? I can't tell you what. Pat Mack, T-Max Inc., TMACSINC.com. T-Max Inc. Watch that dude. That dude's got some crazy smart ways to get past roadblocks mentally. He's all about not hitting diminishing returns. So it's just what you're saying, Russell. Instead of getting to the point where you're not making any progress, switch it up. Use one of these drills that he does. That's my favorite. I've seen it like this with everybody I work with. You start throwing the ball like that, bam, they just, wherever they're stuck, they move to the next level. Robert says, what are the uses of firm grip versus loose when spinning a strap? Also, it's always firm and relaxed. Firm and relaxed means that your hand stays closed. If I start to do this, and I hit anything, it's coming out of my hand. Unless I'm really strong here, which I am, but it's still going to come out with enough force. What I want to do is see how my hand opens a little bit? Now on the collie stick, I want to get rid of that. I want to go for as much flexibility in my wrist as possible. Bow staff, you can afford to open. Or if you're spinning like a sword or a lightsaber, I teach lightsabers to the young people, not just young people, it's a lot of the old people. And I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. I think it's kind of cool. Some of them, I'm not a big fan of all of them. But man, it's this exact same stuff as the Japanese kin or the jiu-jitsu, the use of the sword, the iaido, how to draw and slice somebody and finish them in one move. And because the Star Wars movie all came from Akira Kurosawa movies. I think Fortress maybe is what it's called. And then Star Wars is based on that. It's all sword fighting, the old Japanese style, which is an art and a science. It's amazing. Anyway, to spin, the Japanese guys didn't spin the sword, but it looks good when Kylo Ren or whoever they are do that. So you got to relax everything, but your fingers don't come off. See how my fingers are still on? This is a super tight grip. I'm not making much progress. I can relax my grip while keeping my hand closed. That way, if I do hit something, I can immediately squeeze it shut. That's the key. All right. Hickson says, measure the size of the broomstick, cut the bottom part. Now using the stick is an effective short staff. Perfectly, yes. There's a hand stick. The Korean police officers use that with a little string on the end, wrap it around. I used to be able to do that a lot. I haven't found mine, been looking for it. There's a short stick. There's a medium-sized stick, the hanbo, the jo, which is like a medium stick like this, which is the perfect size. I've been told, and I've been researching to use as a blind person's cane. Because again, back to intimacy in this world that we're creating, this digital world, getting a lot of people who are visually impaired using that cane, saying to me through email and through messages, I'm learning how to build my confidence. I'm feeling confident and strong because I'm learning how to defend myself with your Joe and Bo videos, the short or middle staff and the long staff videos, and I'm applying them to my cane. All right, Shane Tilden. If your offer extends to an Australian subscriber, yes, I'm pretty sure I can mail it to you. The only ones I've had trouble mailing to took a bit to get to South Africa. I think that country is in some trouble right now. I could be speaking out of turn. Excuse me. And I think, countries where there's still a war going on and customs. I have to take stuff in my suitcase when I go to Guatemala, boxing gloves, all the stuff that I take the kids down there and teach at Los Pitos, in Hochelaga, in the old city, Antigua, in Guatemala. I got to take all that stuff in suitcases because they'll steal it at customs. I hope they don't watch this and they detain me and then I got to pay a bribe. I don't know. Anyway, Countries where they still have problems with customs and not as free as we are here, maybe in Australia, that's a little bit more difficult. But I'll try, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll just send you some money, figure out how to buy them. But yes, Shane, I'll get them to you. Of course, old guys, and we're not old. You guys got to stop thinking this way. You can be 65, 70, 80 years old, and you might have 20, 30 years, 40 years left. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's the other side of the coin. You should say, I don't know if I have that much life, so I better go out and do some stuff and not wait to die, because you're going to die anyway. It might not be tomorrow, might be in 20, 30 years. But what if it is tomorrow? You're going to watch TV and stick on your phone and go eat some garbage food and say, oh, my body hurts. Or are you going to get out and do something? Yes, it hurts. Do it anyway. That's my point. It's going to hurt either way. I get these headaches because of the weather here. It's kind of a weird thing. And pressure and sinuses. I have my nose broken so many times. And my head hurts. And I say, I got to go do the thing. And they say, well, wait a minute, you have a headache. I'm like, it's going to hurt anyway. You might as well teach my class. It's going to hurt if I teach. It's going to hurt if I try to lie down and take a break. It's going to hurt either way. Teach a class. Get your work done. Viewful J, plausible bow staff, electric ends be like a taser staff. I don't know. I think they do that in some of those movies, right? Shocking them. I don't know. Go for it. Make it. Just don't like shock people who don't deserve to be shocked. But I'm sure you can make that. I know you can make that. All right. Texan Rider. Older student has multiple shoulder surgeries, workouts, or katas, collie sticks. Yes, rehabilitation. You got to use the collie stick like an Indian swinging club. I rehabilitated. I did this special training in the Army National Guard for a while. I was trying to get into a specialized unit or whatever. And I got back from this thing and couldn't lift my hand above this, like this. My knee, too. My knee was shot. I couldn't put any weight on it. I thought for sure I needed surgery. Went to my doctor. He's like, you need surgery for sure. And then he's like, well, let's do MRI just to make sure. They did the MRIs. Oh, you've got a torn rotator cuff. I've been hearing that since I was in the Marine Corps when I jumped into a big tree doing this ambush practice, whatever. Bam, dislocated my shoulder. Ever since then, it's pain. And then MRI on my shoulder, my knee. Oh, yeah, you're going to need surgery. You really messed yourself up. Send you a specialist. And then one night, one of the black belts here, he runs the Doctor of Physical Therapy program at the local university. He's a wizard. And he said, come into my office tomorrow. Let me help you out. Actually, I think he did it on the mat first, and it gave me immediate relief. I came in the next day. He's like, you don't need surgery. You just need to learn how to move better. You need some physical therapy. And he was right. I did all these different exercises, and they worked. But the best thing that I did was this Indian swinging clubs. And you bring it in, and you push, and you start doing this with very little weight. And you slowly work it up, and you're going out, and you bring it back in the other way. And then there are all different ways that you can use the Indian swinging clubs. And what happens is you start to open everything up, and all that fluid gets in there. It starts healing stuff. It heals stuff. We used to kick something really hard and get the big lump on the shin, right? Big contusion. And if you went to the doctor's like, oh my gosh, that martial arts is brutal. Don't do that. That's, it's horrible. Sit down for 6 weeks and take all the weight off of it. Or I used to roll my ankle all the time. I'd roll it, snap it, and I'd hear the snap. And my ankle got this big. And then one of the Korean masters, because I lived in the martial arts school for 6 years. And then these other Korean masters come over from Korea because my instructor is big. He's really well respected. And they come over because they want to learn from him because he's really well respected. And they all do acupuncture over there. You have a stomach ache, they put an indigestion, poke 2 holes there, squeeze the blood out. Stomach ache feels better. It's instead of an Advil, right? Or a Pepsi. I don't take any of that stuff anymore. Enzymes, that's what you need to eat. Anyway, so roll my ankle. It's like this big, no lie. He wraps the thing around my thumb, pokes a hole here, squeezes all the blood out. I'm watching my ankle go. Basic acupuncture or bloodletting or whatever you want to call it. They do the buhung and pull the blood out. All these different therapies that they do in other countries that really work. The idea is when you injure something, all the cells get stuck, right? Your shoulder, you had all these soldiers, you have all this scar tissue, you have all this lack of blood flow. When there's no blood flowing, there's no oxygen. The cells need oxygen to live. So what does the muscle do when there's no oxygen? It atrophies and dies. You need to breathe. So if you breathe and you get oxygen in the lungs, and then it can circulate, but it still gets stuck because the scar tissue, or because it's swollen, or it's misaligned because your posture is bad, You can move the Indian swinging club, super lightweight, and it starts to put everything back in the right posture. As long as you're doing the moves right, it's not too hard. Tons of videos on how to use the Indian swinging clubs on my channel. Please look them up if you need them, or ask me and I'll send you some. And then after a while, the things start to open and the blood gets in there and it starts to heal the tissue, and it starts to build the muscle back up, and it starts to make new like connections that weren't there before because you got cut or you got injured. And then after a while, posture's better, your shoulders are stronger, and you have no pain. You might have pain from time to time, like working out or you overdid it. But for the most part, pain, I never had the surgeries. Never had this surgery on any of the joints. But I've been told over the years, oh, you got this problem, you got the arthritis, you got the arthritis. Do I? Or did I stop moving correctly? And now I got to get myself into proper realignment by doing the right kind of exercises instead of ignoring them because I don't have enough time or whatever. So make the time. All right, that's the last of the questions. I got to get back in there. We're getting ready to do bow staff, but they're going to be fighting with each other, making contact. So I got to be in the room. Put some more questions in here. I'm going to leave the chat open for what's today? Today's Tuesday till the end of the week, till Friday. By Friday of this week, that's the 28th of June, 2019. Put your questions in there. I'll pick a winner from there. And go to 89tigers.com. And there's a thing, sign up for our newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter and you put your mailing address, don't just sign up for the newsletter with your email address, but also put your mailing address in there. Or let me put my, here, I'll give you my email address. Send me your mailing address so I can actually send you something if you win. I give stuff away all the time. I just like to do it. So let me know. And then, you know, I'll send one out. I was going, the winner. These lots of good questions he's been asking, but I just picked it because I thought it was the most thought out question. All of your questions are awesome, by the way. And keep asking. Put them in here too. You get a second chance. But Risto Nadenov, send me your email. So your email to the your mailing address to my email, and I'll get you a pair of collie sticks. And I have several to choose from. I'll send you the better ones that I have because I have really nice ones and I have like entry-level student ones. I'll send you the better ones. Put them in the comments. Second winner will be drawn on Friday from the chat right there. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching all my videos. Please, let's continue to grow this community. I'm going to start traveling. I'm going to take a sabbatical from teaching martial arts every day to kids and adults. And I'm going to focus all my energy online and traveling and helping people grow their martial arts school and teaching people how to talk to kids so that they become more effective instructors. It's the same thing for adults, by the way. But we all need more help communicating with kids, building confidence, young people around the world. There's a confidence problem. I'm going to help with the confidence. These are my passions. So I'm taking a sabbatical from daily teaching, and I'm going to spend the next 6 months just giving as much as I can to this online community, but also giving to all the other places that I can have an impact. That's getting set up. It's a lot of exciting things. So thank you again. Please stay connected to me in this chat and everything else. And check out the other videos because there are lots and lots of videos. I think 600-700 now that I've uploaded between here and Facebook. Some are just on Facebook. Some are just here. But I think it's over 1,000 if you add the two unique ones, the two together. And I'll keep making them as long as you keep asking me for them. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you're struggling with, and I'll make you a video. I'll see you in the next class. Thanks so much.